Hey everybody, this is Chris. I'm going to show you how to create a Gantt chart in Office Excel 2007 in plain language. So we're going to start off by titling our Gantt chart. And we're going to have a few columns here that we're going to use. First one will be tasks. The second column will be the start date. Third will be duration, and we're going to be using days for duration. And the last one will be the end date. Now, what we're going to have is we're going to list our tasks here. So we'll have task 1, and we're going to create a few of these. And we're going to make up some task dates. So just making up any numbers here. I'm just going to duplicate this across the board. And durations, I'm going to put some numbers in. So 5 days for task 1, 4, 3, and we're going to calculate the end dates from the start date plus the duration. Now we could just apply this formula to all the rows, and we have all the data we need to create our Gantt chart. Now what we need to do is go to Insert, select Bar Graph, and you want a stacked bar. And we're going to be building our Gantt chart from this basic example. So what we need to do is right click and select data. The series are defined as the information, the data that's going to be inside the Gantt chart. And the categories or the axis labels will be the task names. So I'm going to go ahead and add the start date series. So the series name will be start date, and the values will be the dates. Then I'm going to add the duration and put in those values. And I'm not going to add the end date. That's just so we could see, just by looking at the chart, what the information is. So I'm going to leave that out of there. And I'm going to add the axis labels 1 through 8. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So this is what we have so far. And it doesn't look that much like a Gantt chart, but I'm going to show you how to change information so it looks right. Now we don't need this for a Gantt chart, so I'm going to take that out and make this a little bit bigger. Now we really don't need this series, the start date, to show. We need it to measure the beginning of the duration, but we want to hide it basically from the viewer. So what we're going to do is right click and format data series, and we want to select no fill and no border color. As you can see, this makes this series disappear. Now, right now it looks like a Gantt chart, but the tasks are flipped. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Instead we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what I'm going to do is right click it, format the axis, and I'm going to select categories in reverse order, and then I'm going to select close. Now a little lesson with Excel is that the dates are don't actually look like these kinds of dates to the computer. And if we change this to their comma style, these are the values that the computer actually understands from the dates. Now this is important because what we need to do is shift over all this blank area so that the Gantt chart starts closer to the axis here with the task names. Now to go back to the original date values, I'm just going to undo the last change. Now I actually want a little space to start. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna see what the value of 7/28/2010 is, since this is my start date a few days before. And I could see that my last task ends 9:15. So I might want to see what 9/18/2010 is. And I'm going to change these to their comma values. Now what I need to do is set these numbers as my minimum and maximum for the date ranges up here. So what I'm going to do is right click on them, format axis, and select for minimum and maximum the fixed numbers. And I'm going to change them into the numbers I calculated from the dates I selected. 40, 439. I'm gonna go ahead and select close. So as you can see, it looks a lot better, and it's not as cramped as it was before, and you can clearly see where everything overlaps and how long each task will take. Right now I'm going to bring over a chart that I made a few days ago for my senior project, and with some finalizing of the look and feel of things. This is my chart. You can see that my project manager Gantt chart, I made the dates bold on top, and I added these shadows to make it look nice, and we have all the tasks here. So this is the type of thing you would actually want to aim for something that you would have in the presentation. Alright, this concludes my presentation on how to create a Gantt chart in Office 2007 in plain language.